everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is your Friday edition of Coast to Coast. How's it going, gentlemen?
I'm doing fantastic. Got to kind of sleep in my own bed last night, which was, I say kind of because I fell asleep on the couch for a long time. And so,
After a trip like that makes sense.
yeah, I just literally laid down on the couch and I was like, I put on a movie, and at one point woke up and got to watch The Replacements, which was, it's one of those movies I love watching that movie. and then next thing I know, I wake up again and it's some other movie that's an older movie. So I was like, oh wow, I can get to see all these different things. And
so after that trip, you put on a movie, you saw the opening credits, and then you woke up in the middle of another movie.
I woke up exactly. That's exactly what occurred. I'm not even sure what movie I went to put on first.
Yeah, exactly.
But it would have been that movie, another movie, and then The Replacements by the time I woke up. And I watched most of The Replacements at that point. I was like, okay. So I caught it like at the beginning of the movie where he's down in the water, like throwing the football, the fake football.
Right.
Where it was the All-American. Yeah. So I got to see a lot of that. And then I fell asleep at the very end, when they were beating Dallas, or when they were going to beat Dallas. I missed the, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever. You know what I mean?
We need heart.
I saw that part.
Oh, okay.
Miles and miles of heart.
Yeah.
Hey, the part, but he didn't miss that part when.
It's not like we've seen this movie a million times.
Hey.
Talking
about quicksand and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of quicksand, how was practice?
So awesome. So, I mean, obviously great to go to. The fights are getting a little out of hand. Now, there's been a ton of them across the league, so it's not like scuffles are a new thing in practice. Like that, those happen all the time. But two of them that happened during the game was a real problem. Obviously, everybody's heard about the one with DK because that one was actually caught on camera from one of the TV broadcasts. So
I didn't hear about the one from TK. So tell me about it. Talk to me, Goose. Tell me what you.
So he was going up against Trey Brown. They get into it a little bit. He rips his helmet off and swings it at him. So he was doing his best Myles Garrett impression. And then, I don't mind scuffles in practice, right? Because these guys are all trying for a 53-man roster. You got 96 guys, still. So tension's high, right? So like when it comes to the pushing and shoving a little bit after a play, that's cool. When it elevates to ripping someone's helmet off, or the one that happened just before that, about 15 minutes prior, a helmet got ripped off and dude got socked in the face, right? Mm-hmm. So wasn't even trying to bat the ears of a helmet. Like it was straight up, helmet came off, pop.
Nice.
Yeah. So he ended up having to take a lap. The guy that got punched.
The guy that got punched had to take the lap.
Yeah. So,
but if you lose the fight, you have to lap.
I mean, right. So I'm not entirely sure who started the fight because you couldn't quite see, but I think he more took the lap to clear his head because he got punched square in the jaw. So I'm guessing that was a get your mind right before you engage in football anymore today. So he ended up being fine, obviously continued on with practice, but the DK one obviously got a lot of traction because it was caught on camera. And, again, at the end of the day, I don't mind the pushing and shoving. If you're punching dudes in the face or you're swinging helmets at each other, like that takes it to a level that the coaching staff needs to be stepping in. Like that is, you blow the whistles, everybody get your ass in the middle. I don't care if this is a practice that people are at, we're having a chat, right? Like, because being intense and aggressive and, all of that, awesome. You take it to that level. I mean, these are your teammates. And if you're doing this now, I'm worried of what I'm going to see tomorrow in our first preseason game, or during the season when you have a guy like DK that gets a ton of off-ball penalties anyway. So if he can't keep his shit together during a normal practice that's only 2 hours long, it's not like it's, a crazy amount of time here. So yeah, I don't love that look. Again, I don't mind intensity, but when it gets to that point, the coaching at least needs to step in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pags.
No, I said I agree with that coaching. Although I thought that the coaching should have came in during the public practice. You know what I mean? I said that. I said once you have the second one and you have guys jumping in from like running onto the field about it, that's a whole different scenario. And that's indicative now of kind of what the type of play I expect from you guys.
Sadly, it does make me feel like we're going to see some of this, certainly during the preseason, right? So I would be really surprised if our team doesn't go out there, tomorrow, and get some of these, which is is not going to be awesome. Like we'll probably have 2 of those that will largely be our fault, I would imagine, and those will be 15-yarders each time.
Yeah.
But there was another thing that, I didn't like during practice, and it wasn't anything other than the drop off from Geno to Sam Howell is significant. Now you got to see part of it when we went to FanFest, right? He wasn't super accurate during that day either. Well, that continued on, but in this scenario, I was sitting there and I was taking notes while we were watching. And one thing he does that makes me think he probably won't ever be a starter again unless he can work this mechanic out of his, this motion out of his mechanics, is he pats the ball as a timing for a release.
Oh, so it's a tell.
It is.
Straight tell.
And if you are a corner or safety, you're going to watch that, because he does it every single time, and you're going to be able to jump routes. Now, getting a motion like that out of your mechanics is going to be tough because you're doing that as part of your timing. So I think he's going to have a hard time eliminating it, but if he wants to be a starter in this league, he's going to have to find a way to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like we were talking about down in Washington, I felt like he didn't have as many receivers, and now in Seattle, he's going to have a lot of receivers. So hopefully maybe that will help him be a little bit better. But I do agree with you that he needs to get that pad out of the system, because you're definitely tipping your plays when you do that.
Well, the other issue he has is he is a 2-read quarterback. So he'll hit his first 2 reads, and then he's already looking to pull the ball down and run.
Yeah.
So you're already eliminating half of your offensive firepower, right, by not going through. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of times 2 reads is all you're going to have time for. But the other guys exist. So you got to be able to, if you have the time, go ahead and run through the progressions. And he doesn't really seem to do that. And mind you, this is during practice when they're not allowed to hit you. He's already not doing, more than 2 reads before he pulls the ball down. So, I mean, as a Seahawks fan, you have to hope that Geno stays healthy, because that gap is so much bigger than what we thought it might be. We thought his shortcomings in Washington had more to do with the fact that team was just terrible, because he still threw for a lot of yards. So you saw potential there, but now when you're looking at it, you're just like, oh, I mean, this could just be a real problem.
Sounds like it. It sounds like it to me. Seattle is going to do good. Hey, happy birthday, Cap.
What's happening, man? Sure, we can jump over to the Cowboys.
Hey, from one train wreck to another. Let's go.
All aboard. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Because I saw where Jerry Jones said he's not in a huge hurry to sign CeeDee Lamb. I probably wouldn't be in a huge hurry either, because you got a lot of crap to figure out. I mean, with all the numbers they're going to play around with, Yeah, it's not. That's not good. And and Jerry is not. I think Jerry's kind of thinking like, well, if I put it off to the side, I don't have to think about it, worry about it. But it's there, Jerry, and it's going to come back. So it's not going away. Yeah.
It is. I tell you, it just since I'm sorry, and I've got thousands of different things going on today. Today is like, hey, welcome home. And we got this, and we got this, and we got this. It's like I'm getting piled on a little bit.
You were gone for a week, so
I was gone for a week.
So you got to have all those things that you were supposed to get done while you were gone.
Exactly. Well, I didn't get any of them done because I was gone. So,
exactly.
So I think I'll be honest. This is I would go complete makeover.
Yeah.
I think that's what you got to do here.
Punt
you got to go complete makeover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we talked about this. This is the first time we talked about this. I mean, we've talked about this several times where, the Cowboys in their cap situation is so bad. The only way you can the quicker way to rebuild would be to strip it down rather than trying to piecemeal while you try to get out of salary cap hill. Right. So, yeah, you're right. I think a rebuild is absolutely necessary. Start with management. Can we get rid of the ownership first? Can we rebuild the ownership first?
Hey, you know what, Jay? It's awesome when I can actually understand what you're saying. Just making you aware of that. But yeah, you're right. I fully believe that it should be a teardown. Why bother? Why try to sign Dak for $60 million? Why try to get CeeDee Lamb? Like, the truth of the matter is that they're probably going to franchise CeeDee Lamb. They're probably going to move on from Dak. Like, that's what I believe now. It's like why continue? It's like the definition of insanity. Continue doing the same thing over and over again, hoping that it works out. Yep. It never does.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll be honest with you, I'm ready to move on from Dak. I mean, he is still better than some of the other quarterbacks in the league, but he's not going to be the guy that's going to get us where we got to go. I mean, I'm just thoroughly believe that, and the amount of money he's wanting.
So, based on the dysfunction that is the Cowboys, what quarterback do you think would get you where you're trying to go?
Oh, what quarterback would get us where we got to go? For sure.
Patrick Mahomes.
Well, yeah, Patrick, you're right. No, I think
good luck with that.
like for example, Allen out there in Buffalo. That'd be a great guy to have over. I would love to have because he's a good runner. He can throw the ball. He had good wide receivers. I mean, somebody like that, I could see absolutely coming to us. Patrick Mahomes would be out of our range. That guy's, but because Chiefs ain't never gonna let that guy go. I wouldn't let him go either. So
I'm gonna play weirdo GM, just weirdo GM, and I'm gonna go like this. So you have the ability to make a trade, and the trade that's being offered to you, I am the GM of the Carolina Panthers, and I am trading you our quarterback and a 4th round pick for Dak Prescott.
Wow, you really hate Dak.
Well, no, I mean, think about this. You got a number 2 pick.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this is, in terms of that type of thought process, you are kind of, Dak was a 4th round, so you are getting a full 2nd pick in the draft guy that you have control over for another 3 years.
And the replacement for what he was.
And that for Dak Prescott. I think that's a real trade. And you get Dak at a spot that could possibly give him the $60 million.
And that would actually help our cap out a lot too. So
yeah, but
actually it would not. It's not going to help your cap out at all.
Okay.
Because all that money is now dead money already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're stuck. This is just I now have a quarterback that I can move forward with beyond next year.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you making that trade?
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Panthers, did you guys hear that their plane went off the taxiway?
No.
Yeah. It I don't know how.
Are they all okay?
Yeah, they didn't say
I
anybody
didn't hear anything
died,
about
so-
that, but it's like that's my first question. Are
Yeah.
they okay?
Yeah.
Like you'd have to assume so because we hadn't heard about it.
Right.
Yeah, but the damn plane actually went off the taxiway. I was reading about it today. I don't remember what website I was reading on, but I was reading about
Well,
it.
they played last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe they did. Yeah. They played New England, didn't they?
They did, and they looked very much like the Panthers.
Well, so did New England look like New England, from what I understand.
You know, it was New England's approach was weird. You know, Drake May had like, I think he had like 5 snaps or something. Like he was not in very long. Yeah, their approach was weird, but I mean, they were a better team, no doubt.
So it was a Delta flight. It was a Delta flight with Panthers players. Runs off the taxiway, but nobody was injured. So I guess the takeaway here is, number one, I'm glad nobody was injured, and number two, let's not fly Delta. Let's go with United or something.
Well, United will punch you in the face, though. So I mean,
I
there's
don't get punched in the face and die on a taxiway.
Well, I fly American. And I fly American, Frontier, and Alaska.
Yeah.
And I will
I
tell
always
you,
like flying Alaska.
huh?
I always like flying Alaska.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never
That being
flown
said, yeah. I mean, I guess it was an okay flight.
I mean, all flights suck. Let's be honest. Like, there's never a flight where you're like, yeah, like, like you're stuck in a tube with a bunch of people you don't know for hours. You're
Hey,
just
but
like,
I will say this though, Bo. I took a flight one time from here to Cape Verde in Africa, and the company I was working for at the time, they put me up in first class. And I will tell you, that World Airways, that food was so good, Bo. And they gave me a bottle of champagne. Oh man,
oh, sure.
best flight I ever had. But
Yeah, I mean,
I do agree most of the time.
Was it a bottle of champagne or was it Miller High Life?
No, it was a bottle of champagne, and nice
Okay.
bottle, unopened and everything. Here, I was like,
but it wasn't like the little one that you get when you get in the normal ones. He got like the full on bottle with a straw.
It was
The Magnum. The Magnum.
not only was it Magnum, but it
They're
was
like, this guy's going to be a problem here.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're sitting first class, it's all right. I'm still not excited about it. Like, I'm excited about where I'm going, but
Right.
I don't want to be on the airplane. I'm not afraid to fly. I just don't want to be there. Like, I want to be wherever I'm going. You know, if that teleportation thing could happen, it'd be sweet.
You know what gets me, and it's so funny that you say it like that, because I get asked a lot all the time. I'm like, hey, are you excited to go to Seattle? Are you excited to go to LA? No. I don't get excited to go places. Excitement is my life in terms of the games. So
Sure.
when it going to the location does not move my needle like that. So so yes, the travel and everything, I 100% understand exactly what you're saying. That I don't get it. It's like, okay, yeah, woo, I'm going to be there. And then when I'm there, I'm like, okay, here I am. I mean, I'll be honest, I was so excited after the fact. Like I was like, damn, I'm stuck in LA again for another day. And that day wound up being the best day that I was stuck.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. A lot of times the unscheduled day is the most fun day.
Right.
I mean, it usually is. Like, I mean, prime example of that, like Valentine's Day with my wife. Anytime our plans have worked out, it's been a pain in the ass. Anytime our plans have fallen apart and we just like go do a thing, tons of fun. So,
right.
And vacations are very similar to that, which is why I don't like to schedule a bunch of things, because I just kind of want to see what it's going to be. Right.
Right.
But, and yeah, like if I'm going to a spot, I'm excited about the place that I'm going to go explore because I've never been there. Right. But if I'm going somewhere for a game or something like that, I'm with you. The location has less to do with it because I'm there for the games.
Right.
So that's a different feeling on travel. At least for me.
I get that. Yeah. Unless they're going to England or Brazil, like Pags. I mean,
Well, my wife is there right now. She landed yesterday.
Oh, in England?
Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. Okay.
14 hours.
So it ended up being 15, I think. So because it was from here to Houston, it was 5, and then from Houston to Sao Paulo was 10.
And how long was the layover in Houston, or was there really a layover?
I'm not sure. I don't remember what her layover was. I mean, obviously, it's a brutal travel day, right? Because you got to deal with airports and all that too. So, but she left. Let's see. I dropped her off. She left at. I think she flew out at like 9:30 or 10, and then she ended up. She must have had a little bit of a layover because she ended up arriving the next morning in Sao Paulo. So,
Okay.
but
That's what I hate.
now she's doing a city tour. So that's what she's off doing today. The cool thing about this is I'll be able to tell you some cool stuff while you're there because she'll have just been there.
Yes.
so be like, hey, check this out because she saw this and it was awesome.
Well, so the truth of the matter is that as much as we're staying in Sao Paulo, we're staying an hour out. So we are going to a resort because
that might be okay because she's going to be part of the trip in Sao Paulo and then traveling to Rio. So she's going to be.
So we're going to Rio first, actually, and staying in a resort there, and then heading over to Sao Paulo. So it's 4 days in Rio at a resort, 3 days in Sao Paulo in a resort, and 1 game.
Damn, that sounds like fun.
Oh yeah.
And Comcast is doing a great job in Seattle right now.
Showed up and still in either case, she could be in both locations, so she might be able to tell you some cool stuff.
Yeah, I've been to Rio before. It's been 30 years.
I'm imagining different.
A little bit. I'd be willing to bet that most of this, that Jesus thing is still there.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Iconic things tend to stay.
Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same. There's still a lot of homeless there. There's still a whole bunch of houses that are up on the mountain. And the reason why the Olympics had such a difficult time there was because when you're on a mountain, as you get higher up on the mountain, the plumbing there is just let it go downhill.
Oh yeah. Gravity fed. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it's not the most fun spots. It's like, as they say in that movie, Finding Nemo, all drains lead to the ocean.
Yeah.
Same thing happens in Rio.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, it is Brazil, so you're not going to get, the best of amenities sometimes, maybe.
Right.
Mm.
So, I mean, my biggest concern is making sure that I hide well enough my wallet and, my stuff on me so that nobody steals it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is a good
Or
story.
if you can put all your damn credit cards in that Apple Pay, you can just use your little phone for paying wherever you got to pay for.
They steal the phones first.
Yep.
So don't do that. Do not listen to Jay on that. I'm dead serious. I'm
I'll take your word for it.
No, they would do that in Mexico also.
Yeah, do not. Like I'm bringing 3 phones with me. 3 phones with me and doing most of my stuff. Like I'm going to have my one phone that I have with everything on it. It's just going to be my Wi-Fi. Like I'm going to, and so that the other 2 phones can sign into the Wi-Fi so that I'd be able to post stuff. But it's going to be a challenge to say the least.
Yeah, no, I had one of my phones stolen while I was in Mexico. So it's a thing. It happens.
But if you keep the phone like in your front pocket, wouldn't it be harder for them to steal? Because they're gonna have to dig down into my pocket. I'm gonna know that.
It's funny because you use your phone. Like things happen, right? Like it took a year and a half before I had one, and it was my fault. I left it. It was sitting on the table and I wasn't paying attention. Like, is what it is. But
I can see that.
But the thing is they're probably not going to steal it while it's on your body. It's just you'll have your phone out. You're used to using it.
Right. And so when you set it down, that's when it, that makes
Never
sense.
set it down either. Like setting it down, automatic. They are way faster than you are.
No, that's what I mean. Like
but even in your hands.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like
You wouldn't
when I'm posting, I'm going to have like a vice grip on it.
Oh, for sure.
Thank God I got big hands because they got to go through that hand and this hand going for the punch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you're not going to do any like out the window pictures or like all of those things. Bad plan.
Right. 100%. So, but it was
interesting.
Yeah. Anyways,
but I mean, you're right. I mean, like when you what do you say? Apple Pay? Oh, okay.
Apple Pay can work with your face.
It can work.
Yeah, to only work with your face. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And have the backup being a fingerprint.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, if they get on your phone and they go into Facebook and they got a picture of you, they could actually get a picture of you and put it high enough on the phone to be able to make it work. So don't do that either. Get it with the fingerprint as well.
Yeah, the fingerprint probably is the best way because it'd be very hard to duplicate something like that. So I can see that one being the best one.
Yeah. Right. So
switching back into the NFL, what do you guys think? You think Ayuk is actually going to be traded? Like he sure seems like he wants to be, although he doesn't want to go to the places that want him.
What's the question? What was the question?
Do you think Ayuk actually gets traded from the Niners? Because there's now been offers. So the Niners have said, yeah, let's go ahead and explore trade options. And the Steelers are one of them. Patriots are one of them. So there's a few places that are interested, but
well, I thought I read somewhere the Patriots were talking about that they weren't going to trade for him anymore. That was out the window. So now it should just be left to the Steelers, I would imagine.
Well, there was 4 of them that were interested.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. Trying to remember who they all were.
I think that would be a big mistake, though, if the 49ers traded Ayuk. I feel like he's a good part of that offense for them.
He is. It makes you wonder if they're looking more at, we don't want to give this guy $30 million a year for a guy that we don't know is a number 1, right? Because I hold him in the same kind of esteem as Juju, right? Juju looked amazing when AB was on the other side. Well, Ayuk looks amazing with Debo there. If he goes somewhere and he's the true number 1, maybe he shows out. I have no idea, right? So I'm not trying to say that he can't, but I'm just saying I've seen something similar. And as soon as AB wasn't there, Juju wasn't that same guy. So I don't know if Ayuk will still be that same guy when he's the true number 1. Do I still think he's going to be very good? Of course.
Yeah.
And could he be the number 1? Absolutely. We don't know yet. So do you want to pay him like a number 1 and then find out he's not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thinking of teams that would need him, like need his services and maybe help get them over a hump.
Mm-hmm.
Houston?
Do they need another guy?
But they've already got a log jam at wide receiver. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean they already got Diggs there.
Okay. Well, right. They did get Diggs. See, New England's not close. Like maybe the Jets.
What about the Saints?
Saints could work.
Atlanta in that same category.
Yeah.
It seems like the rich get richer. Kansas City might also be in that market. I know that they got that new guy, but they had crap for wide receivers last year.
What about Buffalo?
I mean, Buffalo could use
You know
a
what I
number
mean?
one.
Buffalo could use him, but he doesn't remind me of a guy who likes to play in cold weather.
Yeah.
He's too small and too skinny.
In cold weather.
Too small,
Panthers
too skinny.
Panthers could be interesting. I don't think they don't have the pieces to trade for him though, because they don't have anybody.
Well, not only that, they also don't have picks.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like they don't have anything to bring to the table.
And God, if you're Ayuk, would you really want to go to the Panthers for crying out loud?
Well, I mean, if he's just looking for money, I don't think he's going to care.
Well, yeah, you're right.
If he's looking to win, he'd stay where he is.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to trade him in division like to Arizona.
No.
Although, would it really hurt to trade him to Arizona?
No, not really, because they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I mean, it depends on if Kyler turns into that guy, I guess.
Las Vegas might be another spot.
I could see Vegas.
Vegas would be a good one. Put him on the
They'd
other
have
side
to get
of
somebody to throw him
Devontae.
the ball, though.
Yeah.
Say again?
They'd have to get someone to throw him the ball.
Yeah, you know what though? Let's face it. That's how Dak became good. He wasn't a good quarterback. He had guys that he could throw the ball to initially.
Sure.
And that's what put him on the map. So having a young kid there who's got over-the-top receivers might be worthwhile. You know, you might be able to get the wins out of him because he's got the receivers. Dak wasn't known. He just had receivers that could get open all the time.
Sure.
Initially.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. But, I mean, when your quarterback room is Minshew and O'Connell, I mean.
Oh, Lord, that's just a recipe for disaster, man.
I mean, Minshew would be able to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Is Minshew in Oakland or in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would.
Like Minshew could deliver the ball. So that would be interesting. Like I would actually enjoy seeing what that would even look like. What's happening, Chad? Yeah.
So why don't we take our break, and then I'm going to answer what I thought I saw Robert's question about the Mariner Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely.
So take our break, and then we'll come back. And who cares about Ayuk? He ain't going nowhere because I don't think Lynch is going to trade him. To be honest, I think Lynch knows how to play this game, and unless he's going to get something ridiculous offer, you know what I mean, that he's not going to trade him.
Yeah. No, the trade value would have to be huge. There's no doubt. And they would probably have to get like at least a decent receiver back because you couldn't just leave the hole there. But so, yeah, let's do the station break. We will see you guys in a couple of minutes.
This is Reggie Jones, owner and founder of Air Sports Academy. Air is based on 4 core principles: heart, education, integrity, resiliency. Air is about developing student athletes physically and mentally through training, mentorship, and effective marketing. We've created a platform and a blueprint for our state to shine in the brightest of lights. I created this program because it was a need for our state. We needed to have the light shine on the student athletes in our region, and now that is happening at an all-time and undeniable rate. We created a lane for the kids in our state to get their college education paid for and set their families up for future success. We created an environment where serious athletes can now come compete fearlessly. We've achieved this through our variety of elite programs. Our 6-month off-season program, where first-year starters or seasoned vets can all come develop. Our 5-on-5 program, which is all about our line. Our youth tackle program, which is the first and only youth tackle team from the state of Washington to ever win a major national championship. Our 7-on-7 program, which is ranked top 10 in the country every year. Our high school 11-on-11 club tackle program, which creates a unique and much-needed opportunity for our kids. Our college prep program, which allows our graduates to come back from college and prepare for their upcoming season. Our track and field program, which creates an opportunity for our young air boys and air girls to continue to get faster. And your national program is and national respect. Which is why when you look at recruiting boards and top player lists from around the country, you'll always find players from Air on those lists. Which is why college coaches from some of the most prestigious schools around the country come into our facility to recruit our players. The Penn State, Alabama, Oregon, Stanford, Florida State, the list goes on. Our players are being recruited, offered, and committing to some of the top schools in the nation. The experience our players and families receive is second to none. We offer a competitive brand of sports at Air. We are the ball. And with that comes great responsibility. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. This is Air.
All right. And welcome back. Okay, so your question from Rob. Here we go. How'd you like Mariner Stadium?
I tell you, I liked the fact that you could go out into the outfield and stand there. That's where their standing room only was. I feel that they should monitor it a little bit better than they did. Even in all accounts, you know what I mean? Like the bar was great. I liked that bar. It was kind of cool that you could be right there. Center field being, that open space like that. It was awesome to kind of be able to stand there. I mean, obviously we got there very early, got our spot and didn't move much. So that was kind of fun. But it wasn't kind of fun because obviously everybody had to come to me if I wanted to take a picture with anybody or something like that.
Yeah.
But I liked that part of it. I liked being able to walk around and it being open air stadium so that anywhere that you're walking on the first floor or the second floor, minus like once you go behind the dugouts or whatever, you can kind of see the game for the entirety. It's not like you're being blocked from the view of the game. So that part, like Philadelphia, I enjoy. Like I said, the standing room was a little different than Philly. Obviously, they loved feeding me over there, as you guys know. So it was like they're not used to having super fans show up. So it was an awesome experience in that regard, where they went out of their way to hook me up, which was unexpected. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not like something that you expect. You just go there and you're going buying food. Next thing you know, oh no, it's on us. Thank you. It's like, that is awesome of you guys. I appreciate that. So I got to have a couple of meals and get to feed like the homeless for about 200 people with that one box of chicken that they gave me. I mean, it was literally
it was like a 10-pound box of chicken.
Oh my God. Yeah, they said they gave me the mega box. I opened it up and they're like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah.
It was like piled with chicken. It really was awesome. And everybody was very friendly, even when they were doing their banter.
Yeah.
For the most part, there were a couple of guys that were, douchebag college kids that didn't know any better and stuff like that. Were under their breath for everybody else. Going to the Philly bars in the area was kind of cool. Just being able to see certain things and do some of that stuff. Obviously, I ran these guys ragged because they're not used to being up all hours of the nights, and things like that. So it was fun.
Oh, and I'm married, so that's the my
Bo,
wife's.
Bo, did you kind of peter down a little bit, and Pags had to pick you up, or how did that work?
No, it was I don't want to get in a fight at home.
Oh, okay. Happy lot. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And she was cool too. She was awesome. I mean, his wife was great. Came out and was, hung with us and didn't get frustrated with the fact that, one, it was really hot. Two, it's some of the people aren't the most articulate. Maybe it's a good way of putting that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they sounded a lot like Jay on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I mean, overall, it was a great experience.
I'm just saying words were happening. They just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Mohawks aplenty
Yeah.
in Seattle. Mohawks aplenty. I literally, it was like, oh, there's a Mohawk. Oh, there's a Mohawk. And there's a Mohawk for you too, Scarecrow. You know what I mean? It was like everybody had a Mohawk. So it was kind of fun like that. Running into people like arbitrarily, just like, hey, like, oh, one of the super fans from the Seahawks recognized me. Obviously, I was in Phillies gear when I went to the Seahawks practice, and got us into the stadium for half price apps and beer and stuff like that, hours early, which got us our spot in the, down at the golden circle, as I will call it, in center field, to be right up against the wall. So it really was overall just an overall great experience, and I really appreciate Bo and Rob for taking me everywhere. Your wife as well, like coming in and letting you do all the things that she wanted to do, even though she tried to, when you find out that she actually put water in where the oil is so that your car gets fixed, you know what I mean? She was trying everything she could to, she put the windshield wiper fluid where the oil went and expected to be able to clean the windshield. Next thing you know, it's not having a good time. So she tried to do whatever she could, because she's like, I'm going to see you for a moment before I go to Brazil.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
it was a fun trip. One downturn, worst Wild Wings experience I've had at the location we went to. So that was hilarious, because usually it's super good. And we went there and I was like, what is happening today?
I'm like, I don't like world. I don't like this. I am not a fan of the Wild Wings. I'm not. And you know what?
A fan that day either.
Yeah. And there is not, I think that might be the last time I attend a Buffalo Wild Wings place. It was that bad.
It was really terrible. It was.
What was wrong with the food? Was it not enough sauce? Was it not cooked long enough? I mean, was it not seasoned well?
So all right. Let
we didn't get food poisoning first.
Okay.
No, we did not get food poisoning, but I got a rub. So I got 15 wings. 5 were a rub with a buffalo rub. 5 were with
whatever that weird garlic grossness was.
Yeah, the garlic, and then the other one was like the hot Nashville style, like the hot and sweet stuff. Yeah. The hot and sweet stuff, I couldn't even eat the wings. That it felt like whatever made the sauce, they burnt the sauce, then they threw some sugar in it to try to solve the burn, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and then they finished it with like a vinegar. Like it was probably the nastiest flavored wing I'd ever tasted, and I didn't even eat one. I just touched the sauce and was like,
right.
I was like, yeah, I would not put that in my mouth.
And the rub wasn't rubbed on at all. It was like they took buffalo rub and put it on there like salt.
Yeah, but after it was cooked.
Right? After it was cooked.
So it's not like they did a rub and then cooked it like you're supposed to. They just, it's like they cooked a bear one and they're like, this is supposed to have a rub on it. And they were just like, no. Like it was absolutely insane how bad it was. Like every level of it was terrible.
Right. Golly, man. I'm sorry, it's such a bad time, Pack. I've gone to Buffalo Wild Wings a couple of times in my life. They weren't bad. They weren't great, but they weren't bad.
No, it was just hilarious how bad it was.
Wow. Yeah, and I tell you, the wings at the bar, like the reason why we went to Buffalo Wild Wings was because I got wings the night before at the Philly bar in Seattle.
And they were solid.
They were solid wings. I mean, first off, you got 8 wings for $9, which is ridiculous right now. I mean, usually it's much more than that. And I mean, they were cooked well, and they had a good buffalo sauce. The buffalo sauce wasn't super hot. It had a little tang to it, but it was more taste and everything. And they were good wings, and the pretzels. Pretzels are pretzels. I mean, I got it for the table, kind of to get some food and what have you. And yeah, they were much better than Buffalo Wild Wings,
hands down.
And this is I've been to Buffalo Wild Wings 3 times in my life. All 3 times the experience was bad. I am sorry, Buffalo Wild Wings. You're not getting my business again. If somebody says, hey, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm going to say, I'm going to miss that one.
Yeah.
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 And
No,
we
it was,
tried to do whatever we could here. We were trying to support your franchise. And here it is. This is how you treat us. This is how you treat us. Never again. Never again.
Hey, Pax be like that buffalo in that commercial. Hey, what the fuck, Marty?
exactly. Yep. Yeah. No, it's
Oh,
yeah. No, it was crazy. So there we go. Similar to our Comcast rants, there was 10 minutes of Buffalo Wild Wings really dropped the ball.
I tell you, you know what, Mom, she put that statement there.
Oh,
I
don't think they care.
I could tell you about all 3 locations, and all 3 were bad. And they were in 3 different states, by the way. I've only been to one in Pennsylvania. I've only been to one in Washington. The other one I went to was down in Florida. And all 3.
One, it's funny because the one we went to is generally the best one here. Because I have had bad wings at other locations, but that one is routinely the best one.
Not anymore.
So for them to have dropped the ball in literally every kind of way, man, it was amazing.
Oh, no, Bo, you should be a very frequent customer of the Buffalo Wild Wings, that location. You should have some clout and some pull at that store.
Well,
So-
listen, he was trying to do everything he can to try to poo-poo it because he's supposed to do his Thursday night thing there.
Yeah.
Everything he could to try to explain it away and be like, okay, this is what's happening. It's just it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better, and it never got better.
It didn't. Like, it was just bad all the way around. So, but on the same note, they've also never gotten back to me. So,
Right.
So, we may not be doing a Thursday night football there, which, if that's where their wings are headed, I'm not sad about it.
But to all those Eagles fans that are in Seattle, if you are going to watch the game on Thursday night on November 14th, which also is, I actually, I can't tell you. I can't tell you yet. I'm not allowed to say. So I cannot say this, but something special will be happening that day because that's also Military Appreciation Day for the Eagles because they don't have another home game other than that Thursday night for military appreciation. That go to Buckley's in downtown Seattle, where Bo will be doing his Thursday nights podcast with 1,000 or at least 100 Eagles fans.
Yeah, should be fun. Should be fun.
That should be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yes, it will be. It will be. It will be a good time. And I would say that if you go up to the last call, which is outside of there, I know that, and you go to a Thursday game where Dallas is playing, that's also an Eagles bar. That would be a great spot to watch Eagles fans.
Just people watching.
watch Eagles fans watch a Dallas Cowboys game.
That would be.
I'm about to
hilarious.
say that would be a good game, quite honestly, because you're right. I mean, that'd be a great people watching game.
And obviously, it's the last call. It's a great Eagles bar. We did not make it up there this time around, but like I said, it is a great spot. And definitely go talk to him. Tell him you know me, and that he might have you do it because why not? Why not? They have a good kitchen over there. They've had really good food.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. No, and especially if I don't hear back from Buckley's, I'll give them a shout also.
Yeah, well, if you don't hear back from Buckley's, it would be a surprise if you don't hear back from Buckley's, but she was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously she looked like she was pregnant. I mean, I know she is pregnant. She is pregnant. She's not that's not incorrect or improper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, oh my God, am I
Because I said something like that yesterday, and Bo called me out and said, Bo, I'm surprised you didn't say something to Pags, but he just said just now. I'm surprised.
What's that?
No, yesterday.
We were talking about transgender people.
Yes.
Oh,
I think
okay.
we will. I think we will.
Yeah. No, that's different. Like, like you were
Oh,
going
yeah,
on.
exactly. I said, I'm not trying to be chauvinistic, and then I went to say that, and you said, "Oh yeah." Anytime somebody says this and then this,
Oh no. Yeah, the comparison I made there was you were like, I don't mean to sound racist, but and then that's always followed by the most racist statement ever, right? So, so that's the avenue you were taking. He didn't out and out say she was gaining weight or something like that, and then oh wait, she's pregnant. Like he wasn't trying to recover; he was trying to recall. There's a distinct difference in the way you guys were approaching the conversation.
Trust me, and I'm not always of the political mindset of correctness.
You were just trying to double down and get both shoes in your mouth was the thing. And I want to keep doing this show. So
what a time to be alive, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We are getting close to the end. So Gwen did have a question specifically for you.
Okay. That heard one of their coaches was a scout for the Phillies. Okay. So I got to imagine that there are scouts that scouts everything. You know what I mean? That I don't know who that guy is or what he's scouting. Is he scouting them from that young of an age? Is he somebody who does from that level all the way up into high school and starting into the colleges? I got to imagine that's probably part of this. So there's lots of different ways to be able to go with that in terms of that regards. I actually, as I got into Philly yesterday, I watched the Cuban team load the bus.
Oh, cool.
So
that's cool.
Which was kind of cool because I wanted to go up and talk to them and do that, but no, there was like they literally were kid, adult, kid, adult, kid, adult, kid, adult, and I'm like, all right, I don't know enough Spanish. Yeah, I can't go up and say, picture tu lápiz es pequeña. You know what I mean? My pencil is small. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
So, but it was yeah, that was kind of cool. So I look forward to seeing some of that. I mean, obviously, if Stat Guy playing today?
No, they're done. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah. They lost right to
13-11 is what they lost to the actual national champ team. So
yeah, the reigning champs. So
can't really get mad at that. We looked for 2 runs. I mean,
well, and he said it was their first state title. So, I mean, cool to have made it this far. You know, that's an amazing run. So, you know, they get champs, which is great. And you know, they made it far. But you know, the problem with national championships, only one person gets it. So
yes. That is correct. There can be only one.
That's right. It's the Highlander. Good stuff. The you know, the Mariners at least didn't lose the series against Detroit, so that was nice.
How about the Phillies? Not listen, I got to talk about this because I didn't get a chance yesterday. I mean, Kyle Schwarber with the hat trick, 3 home runs in LA. I tell you, the Phillies love playing in LA. So they needed that win. They needed that win on Sunday. And obviously everybody is like, hey, you don't have to wear face paint anymore. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. I am definitely going to be wearing face paint again. I'm sorry, guys. It was for this road trip that I was doing that. I'm not putting on face paint again. Don't think that. I am definitely going to put on the face paint because I have a much better record with the face paint than without it.
Yeah.
Especially this year. So I don't care what you're saying. Sometimes you got to change things up to break the snide. I broke the snide. Now we're ready to
that's right.
Move along.
Now we're back to normal.
But it was amazing. Obviously, if you guys saw the seats I had for the last 2 games, It really
Yeah,
was
you have
cool.
to
And
go
I have
see.
I have a Sandy Koufax doll, bobblehead doll, which was also really cool. The LA fans that did recognize me were amazing. And it's always funny because people always wonder, why are you taking pictures with that guy? Like, who is this guy? So then they start asking, and then they start finding out, and then they start following.
Yeah.
So because they're like, oh, he's like this Philly sports guy thing. Why don't we try to find him on the Instagram? And next thing you know, they find me, and then they start following, and then they want to take a picture. So paint or no paint, it really was an awesome experience. And uh, you know, I got to see some people. Like I said, that's how I wound up taking my tour of the NFL Network.
Yeah.
Which was amazing as well. Like, it was like literally like 45-minute tour. So it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was awesome. Like, just being in there and doing that. I am going to put together, what's going to be out in the next couple days, a full video. It's going to probably be like a 40-minute long video of every picture and video that I took
Nice.
of this trip, because it was a great trip. It really was a great trip.
I really like the part where you were on the field, the NFL field, or whatever. I thought that was a really cool pick. I was like,
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome.
I mean, so that's obviously you've seen that field before when like Good Morning Football or Total Access, or like when they are doing those things. Anytime they're doing something in front of SoFi on that field, it's on that field specific because of the way it's like literally it's right in the backyard of.
Oh no. And the hurricane got him.
I was about to say, it took him out. The Outer Band winds are
Stadium.
there.
And yep, there it is. There it is. There's the hurricane saying, "Yep, we are here."
Well, we can hear more about it on Monday. We're at the end of the show anyway. So
Also,
since
Pat
you
will still be here and not blown away by the hurricane.
yeah, exactly.
I'm stronger than the storm.
It's supposed to be I am the storm. All right. So if you've been watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching on Roku, stay tuned for the next hour. Other than that, we will see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend.